and Sori.
That's Booby.
And Ghosty. And Culpy. I'm so afraid I'm going to lose Ghosty because I see them kids eyeing him. They keep coming in and they...
There is going to be a major, major, major problem if anything happens to my guy Ghosty. I'm going to ride for the cause.
Yeah. They keep putting him in different positions.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
Throwing gang signs up.
I believe that he can be moved into different positions, but it just...
Wilding all night and don't care where they wind up.
Let's go. Okay.
Put their ice grill on like they don't trust a brother. And walk around the club like they about to snuff a brother. I get a brother man to enough to boy cut a brother. Don't have the coaster, you cut around and cut a brother. You gotta love a brother. The way I crime what? Out west the Bloods is throwing gang signs up. Wilding all night and don't care where they wind up. Next day, same ice grill inside a lineup.
You see
brothers,
this?
Time's up. Don't mean to trouble you. I snatch your kids quicker than BCW. What you mad about? I see a lot of tightened jaws. I got a lot of girls, but I'm really, really liking yours. That doesn't work. Let's continue. You say this? What is this?
This is something that, you know, we're not selling.
What is it?
But this thing, I fell victim to one of those Facebook ads because I couldn't. Okay, so they start the video out with these kids freaking out, crying in the back seat, and they're getting trapped underwater, and they can't get out. Hey, what just happened to that piece?
Yeah, this is the thing that's supposedly going to save your life, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, well, this pulls off, I guess. I haven't really, this happened to me to my sister. It cuts the seat belt real fast if they get trapped in. You've heard of people getting trapped in there? And then this thing, you I guess push that and you put this right up against the windshield and push that thing and it breaks the windshield so you can get out real fast if you're trapped in there. So I saw the ad and then I kind of got superstitious after I saw the ad because I was like, maybe that was my sign that I'm supposed to buy one of those. So then I went to purchase it and it said you could buy one for this price or you could buy two for this price, or it was buy like two get one free.
What did you actually pay for that?
I can't remember. I just remember that I ended up purchasing one for my sister and one for my brother because I couldn't bear the thought of what if something happened and I was too cheap to buy them one.
For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up at Middle America with Vin and Sori.
You should get one. You know what happened? Please, let me finish my story.
Nobody wants to hear your story.
My sister, yeah, they do. My sister said, oh my gosh, you got us one? Then she started panicking. She's like, I'm very superstitious. Now I feel like something bad's going to happen because you got me one.
Now probably something bad is going to happen because she's going to be all self-fulfilling the prophecy.
I said, no, I got one for our brother too. She was like, oh. Okay. Well,
if you want to be as cool as Sori,
yeah.
Ladies, I guarantee you that if you rock this shirt, you're going to look like this one. No, you won't. That's false advertising. No female on the planet will ever look like this one. But second place is always good. Sori's secret shirt.
That's such a terrible advertisement.
A whole bunch of you have bought them.
No, that's not just for ladies. There's also for men. Like, we've sold a ton of the men's ones.
Yeah, a lot of you have bought them. So please send us your pictures so that we can do Where in the World is the Village. We'll feature you in a video with the shirt on. Most people do the little thingy. You don't have to do that, but everybody does that. But anyway, there you are. All right.
What's been our coolest one?
Well, the Game of Thrones one that Ultimate Musings did. He was, check this out. I mean, you can't get much more. I mean, that's it. Sadak, that's it.
I also, but
they should have had him
in
the show.
It's not a tie. It's not a tie, okay? Ultimate Musings beat it, yeah. But the second place, remember the guy that had the guitar and he had a mask on?
Oh, yeah.
That right there was like, oh man, that was another cool one.
Yeah, that one was gangsta. I talked to somebody who is gonna meet up with us at the Slipknot show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
that'd be cool.
Yeah. So, do we have any XXLs left?
We also got one more story.
Can you answer my question?
Probably. You know what? There's a little stack right beside me.
I promised the big homie. I said, "Yo, if I got an XXL shirt, we'll give it to you." Because remember, we give out shirts whenever we go to a show. So
yeah, check that stack.
I don't want to.
Listen, we actually had one other Sori secret shirt that we couldn't post the picture because it was too cool. It was too much. You remember that?
The one from
the
naked one?
No, good lord. That we didn't post for obvious reasons.
Which one was too cool? Oh, and he got in trouble for that, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to the big homie.
Shout out.
Guy took a hit for the team for
He
sure.
did.
So anyway, if you want, yeah, we couldn't feature.
You know who you are.
You know who you are. We couldn't feature that one, but anyway, this is a Patreon pick.
We're in a 6-minute intro here. Okay, let's get to it.
This is the Extreme Underground. If you want to be a part of the Patreon crew, you can. It starts at $1. We're actually going to be building up our Patreon thing so that there's more. I think all year we're going to do a behind the scenes type of thing that's going to be Patreon accessible. So Zonia messaged.
Yeah, I think My Story Life is going to kind of neutralize, and that's going to all just go on Patreon.
Zonia messages me all the time, so I hear you, patrons. All right, this is the Extreme Underground Skid Row. We spent way too much time, but anyway, it was fun. Let's go.
Right, it was real.
Go!
Oh wait, no, babe, I didn't even have this plugged in.
Oh,
I'm not prepared. Gosh. I was too busy eating pizza.
Why do you even plug it out? I don't understand.
Because I edit, you know.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Go.
All right, ready?
Yeah. Whenever there's like these long spaces where it doesn't start, it's weird. I like this.
I like it.
I'm a fan.
I like this shit. So you didn't make a mistake at the time. But no.
The minute I heard that chorus at the beginning, when it said 18 in life, I was like, uh-oh. I thought for sure he was going to jail.
I thought you made a mistake. I thought it was 18 to life, but it's 18 and life, which you know it's there. Man, this song is like there's a Biggie song called Biggie used to tell stories with his lyrics. This is one of the things that to me puts Biggie above pretty much every other rapper. Is that he used to tell stories and they were extremely vivid. So the song,
I love songs like that.
Yeah. There's a song. It's I forgot the name of the song, but it starts off with, "I'm sitting in the crib dreaming about Learjets and coupes, the way Salt shoops and how to sell records like Snoop. I'm interrupted by a doorbell. Who the hell is this? It's 3:56. You know what I mean? Like, it's a face that I've seen before. My man singing used to sling on the 13th floor, and I check it. I look deeper. I see blood upon a sneaker." And so as the song starts going on, what happens is
I feel like some tragedy's about to strike.
a dude that they dealt drugs with got caught up with these other guys. They promised him, "Hey, we're gonna do this drug deal, da 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 da," and they did the drug deal, and they killed him and took all his money. Pistol whipped his kids and kidnapped his wife. They figured Rock set him up, no question, wet him up, no less than 50 shocks in his. So then they're
Imagine
like,
how scary that would be for the kids.
So the name of the song is "Somebody's Got to Die."
Yep.
Right? So if I go, you got to go. Let the gunshots blow. And then, so they get in the car and they start, loading up or whatever. Phil and Clipsy explain that situation precisely so we know exactly what we're facing. Some kid named Jason in a Honda station wagon was bragging.
How do you know all this?
Rock had a grip, so we stacked like a crip. A small crew, around the time I was locked up with you. True indeed. But yo, homie, let me proceed. Don't fill them clips too high. Give them bullets room to breathe. Like, really detailed stuff. Like,
Jesus.
Stuff that...
Yeah.
It's
you
true.
would only know if you were.
So anyway, so they start going on, and then at one point in the song, the guy's like, I'm just gonna light the place up, and then Biggie goes, people like you do 10-year bids, miss the man they want, and murder innocent kids. Not I. Only one dude's in my eye. That's Jason. Ain't no other slugs gonna be wasting. Revenge, I'm feeling.
Who?
Jason is the guy that shot his friend, so so his man is saying we're just gonna light up the block, and Biggie's like, nah,
we're not gonna.
You're gonna miss the guy you want and hit an innocent kid, right?
Yeah.
Revenge, I'm feeling at my tip of my lips. Can't wait to feel my clip in his hips. So then he rolls up, and then he goes, I screamed his name out, squeezed 6 knuckles shorter, meaning he emptied his clip, and then it says. The man turns around holding his daughter. So, the thing that he said...
He ended up doing it.
And the name of the song is Somebody's Got to Die. Well, yeah, somebody did die. The guy's daughter, dummy. And so, that's why Biggie was such a genius, because he set that whole thing up. He's like, you do 10-year bids, miss the guy you want, and murder innocent kids.
Yep.
Not I, only one dude's in my eye, and that's Jason. Ain't no other slugs gonna be wasting. So, it was just brilliant the way that he did it.
Wow.
Because he was like the logical one, don't fill them clips too high, don't spray it, and then the guy turns around and he's holding his daughter, you end up killing an innocent kid anyway. So this song reminded me of that because you're tracking with. See, I didn't even catch it that something bad was gonna happen. I was just jiving to because honestly the hook is really catchy.
Yeah. Oh no, it is. Yeah.
And then.
But the minute I heard that language, I immediately thought he's going to jail.
But bang. He fired his 6th shot to the wind, and that child blew a child away. Such a brilliant line.
You know what worked with this lady?
That is horrible. Good Lord.
That when she was 5, she said she was sitting on her mom's lap, and she laid down into her mom's lap, and there was a random drive-by, and the shot came right through the window, killed her mother, right there.
Yeah.
She was like. She's like, I was never the same after that. And I had never heard of it was crazy, I'm face to face with this person and this happened to you, that was your mom. So, wow. I forgot about that story until this thing, but what you just said. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
But that's the thing, so that person, I don't even know how, she doesn't know that her mom was involved in anything. To her, it was just a random event. And it very well it very well may have been just some random event. But in the case that the mom was involved in something, the person doing the drive-by thought the mom was alone and didn't realize the little girl was curled up on her lap. Awful. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I knew something was coming up right when it said those lyrics. I'm like, okay.
That was foreshadow. 18 in life, because you figure 18 to life is a jail sentence. Mm-hmm. You know, but...
No, see, I didn't even get that. Like, when I heard 18 and life, I heard you're 18 years old and you're going away for life. But when I was a teenager, like, I always had this terrible habit from the moment I got my car, that when I was upset, I would just take off driving. And there was times where I would take off driving and just roll down the windows and blast some music and just try to, like, escape that way. But then there was other times where I would drive psychotically because I guess it was just like another form of escape. I'm not sure. But after I would be done doing that and I would kind of like get my fill of that crazy, then I would go back home like everything was cool. And like when I was calm again, I would realize, oh my gosh, like I was flying through that neighborhood. Like, what if a kid would have been crossing the street?
I know.
And I would get scared. Like,
I know.
I probably, like, that feeling of, like, I literally could have killed somebody driving like that. But when I was in that space in my head, forget about it. I wouldn't, I wouldn't think about that. It was always after.
When you're young, you don't think about that stuff.
Not in the moment. After I would.
Well, it's always after.
Yeah.
And that's the weird thing about, like, that age of, like, 16 to almost even 21 now, is that in the moment, they're just, and it's that weird stage between, I'm not a kid anymore, but I'm not an adult, but then I get handed these adult things that are consequential now.
Yeah.
You're talking about, driver's license to a 16-year-old kid, who you tell them all the time, don't drink and drive, but they're, they've been partying since they were whatever with their friends, so they're cool. 18, you just graduated high school, you put a 16 in a kid's hand and send him off to Iraq. And
I know.
Don't hit any civvies.
Right.
And they're not even trained to the degree, Sometimes, like when you go through these drills, shoot the shooters, don't shoot the no shooters, you're like, okay, this guy is like locked in professional, like there are people that look at that like this is my profession. Like they're not like I'm in the army or I'm in this or whatever, paramilitary, whatever. They're looking at it like this is a job.
Yeah.
And they talk about it like a job.
Yeah.
Whereas a 16-year-old is like, I'm in the army and I have a gun. Or the 18-year-old, it's like, and I'm like, that guy needs that drill, not this guy who's, you know what I mean? And like, hey, go for it. And like, so it's a weird age, when, I forgot, it was like Pelosi wants 16-year-olds to be able to vote. And then it's like, so there's one clip of Pelosi saying she wants 16-year-olds to vote, and then the next meme is like also 16-year-olds, and you see them eating Tide Pods, and like one guy set himself on fire. Remember that guy that was hurt? His leg was all moving. Remember that one that Cassandra sent you?
Oh yes.
His leg kept moving because he electrocuted himself.
Yes. He put a knife, like a butter knife, in his mouth, and then he tased the butter knife.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, we're gonna do this shit, buddy.
Yes!
And then there was a thing where, like, the guy left.
He was so confident before he did it.
The guy was trying to run, keep up with the car while the door was open. You know what I mean?
I just saw one the other day.
It had all these clips of,
like... It was like a fire, and the kid goes to throw some gasoline. I'm like, how many times have you been told that the fire friggin' follows that thing? That thing blew up, he threw it, he was, like, trying to pat his hair out, like...
Yeah. Oh, really? Does that happen?
What?
So, like, it was like also 16, and you had one kid like, trying to keep up with the car, like, and then and his buddy hit the brake and he ran through the way. Like, it was just hilarious. It was unbelievable. But yeah, we had a thing 2 years ago with the Tide Pods.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
People were eating them and all that.
Really? We have to tell you not to eat that?
Yeah. So it's like, it's a very strange period of time, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And we were talking about these kids at the party. They were 19. They got ossified drunk, got behind the wheel, and killed 6 people, including all of themselves. And
Yep.
Dad's got to show up at the freaking hospital, identify his son. Like, I couldn't imagine that shit, bro. And then your son is like this monster because he killed 5 other people. That's what he's known for forever in the area. Is that you mention that dude's name and that, you know, and it's like, it's brutal. So it's like, it's a real fun period when you're like starting to get that freedom and all that. And
Yeah.
but then when they do, and it was crazy because when I was talking to those people, because I was a little bit older than them when that whole thing went down. I was like 22, 23, so I was a little bit, plus the whole Christian thing. I wasn't going to go party with them. They wanted me to go party with them.
I remember that, yeah.
And I remember here, and of course I didn't recognize the voice of God that well back then, but it was like, I heard like these kids think they're going to live forever. And when that girl that I was telling you about,
Yeah.
she was in the car behind them, and the first thing in her head was, oh my God, so-and-so is going to get in so much trouble, which sounds like something a kid would say.
Yeah.
Well, she had no idea that he was dead. He wasn't in trouble, he was dead. But they're like, oh my God, you're going to get in so much trouble.
Yeah.
And then they went up there, and they, you know, it was obvious that he was, you know.
Wow.
So it's just sad, you know,
Yeah.
like, on the one hand, they get these adult responsibilities, but they don't have an adult mindset,
Yeah,
and then
the
they do
maturity
the stupid thing that teenagers do, and then they revert back to children when the ramifications, you know, start to. And I just felt so terrible.
Yeah.
You know, hearing that, it's heartbreaking, because then you realize that these are still kids, and especially the way that kids are socialized today. It elongates. We've got like elongated adolescence now.
Yeah.
You know,
We
like, and that's one of the reasons that Jordan Peterson is so popular, is because he's telling these 22, 23-year-old people who are mentally about 18 or 19, hey, and now he has to start from the basics. Make your bed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And people are like mocking Jordan Peterson. They're like, oh, it's just pseudo-intellectual, word salad, blah, blah, blah. It's like, say what you want. But that's why he's impacting, is because these kids have been socialized with this prolonged adolescence. They need a father figure to smack them around a little bit and say, what the hell is wrong with you? But at the same time, compassionately.
Yeah, and I think he accomplished
and
that.
He's a father figure to a lot of these people. So, you know.
And that's the thing too, like a good father is gonna like try to work with you, and he's not gonna try to overwhelm you and stuff like that, you know. So he comes at him, he doesn't say like, it's not so big, it's unattainable.
Change your entire life.
Right. He's not like, get a job, get a vehicle, get an apartment, sustain yourself. It's just it's one small step in a direction, which is get up in the morning and make your bed.
Right. Mark Driscoll, when he was really popular, he used to preach. And
you should try that, Vin.
I'm good.
What? Because I make the bed?
I've already went through all my rites of passage.
I know.
A million times over. Nobody can tell me shit. Can't tell me nothing. But he used to say to men, like, stop sleeping with your girlfriend, pull your pants up, get a job, get married, and have some kids. You know, like that? Mark Driscoll.
Oh,
like
really?
that was like...
Yeah, Mark Driscoll.
Well, people were wondering why anytime a dude comes out and he looks dudes in the eye and says, you guys need to man up, dudes respond to it. Because we've got an entire... And I understand, like, all the toxic masculinity, and I believe there's such a thing. I'm not one of these people. But what happens is that there's nobody that comes and fills in that vacuum and tells these kids, like, you know, let's go. I mean, even in this, you know, Ricky was a young boy. He had a heart of stone. Lived 9 to 5, and he worked his fingers to the bone. But notice, he's called a young boy, but he's 18 years old. See what I'm saying? Like, how are you a young boy when you have a 9 to 5? Well, because he's got the mind of a young boy. The first line is talking about the dude's mind, and then his heart. He's got a heart of stone, and like that opening line right there is the quintessential definition of what it means to be a young man in America right now. And a lot of people don't really realize what's happening in America. on the one hand, you've got this, whoa, toxic masculinity, yada, yada, yada. And then on the other extreme, you got Jordan Peterson. And there's all this like clashing ideologies and nobody understands what's happening. What's happening is there such a thing as toxic masculinity? Sure. And that's because you don't have a lot of Jordan Petersons to explain what masculinity is to these guys, these kids, because now,
Well, you don't need Jordan Peterson if you have fathers that are there with their kids, you know what I'm saying?
if you have an involved father,
Right.
right?
But when that spot is vacant in a lot of homes, which
Right.
it sounds like this too, he had no money. It's weird because it says Ricky was a young boy and he had a heart of stone, lived 9 to 5, and worked his fingers to the bone. But it says he has no money, no good at home, walked the streets as a soldier, and he fought the world alone. So he's working, but his money is not going to him. He has no money. So I don't know if his parents were taking it for their habits or whatever. But
Well, no, he's got the drugs, the rock and roll, the fighter.
Oh,
and there's no dad.
yeah,
There's no dad for this kid.
yeah,
So, we've got a gap in fatherhood, whether it's absentee fatherhood in the ghetto or just, uninvolved, disconnected fatherhood, which is what's happening now across the board. And so then it generates this sort of toxic form of masculinity. But this guy, what else is he supposed to do? He's miserable. He obviously has no guidance. Doesn't have much education, doesn't have much opportunity. It's mind-blowing. He's called a young boy, but he's out of school. Because you're out of school at 18. You barely graduated high school, right?
yeah.
And there he is, and he's your crime is time. And I took that to mean, hey, you're 18 and now we're going to treat you like an adult. You know what I'm saying? But he's not an adult. He has the mind of a boy. But we're going to treat you like an adult because of time.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's a pretty crazy.
Yeah. They kept going back and forth because then they went there and they said, he fired 6 shots to the wind and the child blew a child away.
Right. That child blew a child away. Right. Right. And so there's consequences. Like if you're not gonna go and, because at the end of the day, a boy is a boy, is a man, is a. You've got this masculine energy and it's got to get channeled somewhere. So this dude he's channeling it by fighting and how much alcohol you can imbibe. That's a sign of masculinity, right? Oh,
Yeah.
You can handle your liquor. That's a big sign of masculinity. Oh, you can get violent. That's a sign of masculinity. And you can do it alone. That's a sign of masculinity. And there's nobody to come alongside this kid and say, actually, no, things work better if you're in a team. Actually, no, being imbibing a bunch of alcohol leaves you vulnerable because you're no longer in control of your senses. Actually, no, if you can, like when my mom couldn't control me, she sent me to Taekwondo. And in Taekwondo, Mr. Sensei Kim, and you'd have to say it was yes sir, no sir. And I was in Florida, down south, and in down south they do yes sir, no sir anyway. I never did that. I never did that because I never had any respect for men because my dad wasn't around. So I never did the yes sir, no sir thing. I never did until I went to traditional Taekwondo in Palm Bay, Florida, and that was the first thing you learned: yes sir, no sir. And he said, when your mom's around, I don't want to hear yeah, or yes ma'am, no ma'am. So, he kind of. And my mom didn't have a conversation with him before. That's just how they. It's that Korean sort of
Yeah.
And then we learned the principles, and I still to this day: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, indomitable spirit. And that's how you get your little yellow sash. If you could remember that, and I remembered that 5th grade. I remember that to this day, and he had a huge impact on my life and the mentality of So I was really excelling in Taekwondo and all that, and he said, it was after a tournament, he pulled me aside, he's like, now I'm going to teach you the best way to win every fight you get into. And so I'm like, yes sir. And he said, walk away. That's how you win. Because you'll never get hurt. And so it really...
What did you think when he said that?
Everything he said was gospel to me.
It impacted
He
you.
was a 6th degree black belt, and the man there was one time when this guy showed up and he's like, this is all bullshit. And I remember because I was waiting for the black belt, because the black belt class was before mine, and I'd show up early because I wanted to see their kata, you know? Because I wanted to impress them and show them, hey, I know black belt kata, I'm only a green belt. And so I'm hearing this guy talk all this shit, da-da-da-da. He's like, this is all bullshit, none of this works in the street, da-da-da-da. And I was just like... So he said something to Sensei Kim, and you know, he was like, oh well, you know, a lot of people talk about exercise and da 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 da, and his there was this kind of like, he was a black belt, he was a trainer, but he was not on Sensei Kim's level, and the guy basically said, okay, come show me how much bullshit it is, and they cleared it out. He laid the guy out. He laid him out.
You saw the whole thing?
Huh?
You saw the whole thing?
I saw the whole thing. We were all like, yeah! And the only person that was not happy was Sensei.
Kim?
Yeah. And I didn't see that dude for 2 weeks, which now I'm pretty sure he suspended him. He wouldn't let him come back to the dojo. But I didn't. Everybody, we were all like, yeah.
But he didn't stop him in the moment. He let him do it.
He didn't stop him.
Smart.
All I remember him saying that if you want to do that, he said, if you have to. He looked at the guy. He said, if you have to, I won't stop you. And so he went and did it, which, of course, in itself was a lesson to that guy, which was, you don't have to do this shit. You don't need to prove yourself to this guy. But he was, because we all loved that guy.
Oh, what a wise person.
We all loved him. Like, I loved that guy. Like,
yeah.
You know, and to see somebody insulting him, it was like...
Yeah.
And he was so secure in himself. He was like, well, you know, some people like it for the exercise, you know. It's good that your kid's getting exercise. And he was trying to move him along, and then the other dude was like, he wasn't happy. And he was super athletic. He's one of those guys, when it was board breaking night, he used to like stack up like 5 chairs, and he'd do like a flying side kick over the chair. Like, he was amazing. So, yeah, he beat the hell out of that guy. But... now I'm looking back at it, I'm like, you did that to the guy in front of his son.
That's true too. I didn't realize this. Yeah, that's true. The son would have been there.
You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, great.
Maybe that guy was feeling like insecure about the whole thing because his son was really looking up to the sensei.
I'm sure that's what it was, because that guy was like a god. He really, really was. Like the way that we treated him, and like if I saw him to this day, I would, yes sir, no sir. Like you wouldn't recognize me. Like we really revered that guy. And so he just looked at the guy and he said, yeah, if you have to.
Who do you respect more, him or Dr. Petzel? That's the one that when he was in the hospital, she like helped him.
I'm gonna give him the edge, and the only reason is because my mom is like, honestly, aside from you, my mom was like God status. So, you know, I have women in my life that I can, but there's nobody like him.
I see. Yeah.
He was just really like that stereotypical, like, you know, like old karate Japanese Korean. He wasn't Japanese, he was Korean, but he was like the Mr. Miyagi type guy.
Okay.
And yeah.
Well, I mean, that sounded like a really good response when he gave that guy, if you must, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very sage-like, very like, you know.
I feel...
Yeah. Yeah, and it's funny because it's true, because the tournament was 2 days before that. I mean, after that, and that's when he pulled me aside and had that conversation. So I'm wondering if there's any correlation, because I was so impressionable, and I had the attitude of that other guy. I was athletic, and I was excelling really, you know, and I was really, because there's some people that just go for fun, and there's other people that take it really seriously.
Yeah.
He was like that, and I was like that, so, and I would have been dumb enough to do that dumb shit, you know. Now,
Where does he live?
Oh, that's different, though. That's different.
Well, that could cause a lot of trouble for people.
I don't give a damn.
Right. I'm just saying I agree. I see that you have that disposition.
No, I don't know what Sensei Kim would have done in that situation, because he was big on honor. So, anybody that does something like that to a kid, I don't know if he would have had a problem with me. I don't know. He probably wouldn't have approved on it, to be honest with you.
He
was very, very Christ-like, that guy. very Christ-like. But he wasn't a Christian either. He had his little Buddhist statue and stuff. And
Interesting.
but he was extremely. He was a father figure. He was what I needed at the time, you know, and it was a real lifesaver between me and my mom because we had so many wars, and I had a temper. She was very afraid about my temper because I would just lose it, and then.
Well, I can see how that would be because if you're a single woman.
Yep.
And your boy is getting bigger and bigger, and you're just not sure what they're gonna do next. I can totally see that.
Well, yeah, I was playing football one time, and I lost it on these kids, and you know, my brother was like, "What is wrong with you?" Mm-hmm. He yanked me off these kids, and you know, and I heard him talking to my mom. He's like, "Something is wrong with Vincent. Like he's in trouble," you know. So she didn't know. She only had one gear, you know. Like Jamaican parents, it's just intimidation and blah, and I didn't care.
Right.
Because when I'd get mad, I couldn't feel anything. You know what I mean? Like you know. So adrenaline's pumping and all that, and I'd cry, and yeah, I was like an angry crier. You know, people that cry when they're angry.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like you know, I cry, but I couldn't feel anything. It was crazy. And then, you know, of course, we had like constant visits from the counselors and stuff, when the social workers would come visit our house and stuff, but nothing was. But yeah, traditional Taekwondo, Palm Bay, Florida, man.
When did you stop doing that?
I did that for about a year and a half. And then
being angry, crying, and stuff like that.
It was really that. It was really one of Taekwondo.
Really?
Yeah. It just calmed me down, and it gave me, like, the katas were, it was a mind thing because you had to start at a certain spot and you do like 40 movements and you'd go all around and you were supposed to end at that exact spot. So it was a real like combination of mind body. That was the idea. It was like you're using your mind, but you're also using your body, and you have to, yeah. And it took hours and hours to master. And if you missed on one, then you were going to end on the wrong spot. So you'd have to start all over again.
Yikes.
And I wanted so bad to be the best. So it really like, you know, kids were outside playing. I was practicing kata and everything. And,
that's cool.
It wasn't about like becoming like this great fighter. Like, you know, nobody, if you watch UFC, like nobody's doing kata. I mean, there's a couple guys that have done Taekwondo that have had some marginal success in UFC, but it's not, Taekwondo is not really like a street fighting type of martial art. It wasn't like that. But if you take a black belt in Taekwondo against some idiot on the street, they're gonna lose. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas if you take a mixed martial artist who's got, you know, some Muay Thai and some BJJ and you put him against like one, he'll destroy him. Mm-hmm. But just some regular Joe off the street, I mean, a green belt could have took the guy down. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And plus, you're just in shape and you're throwing thousands of. So I mean, that doesn't prove anything. But yeah. I mean, he had a really, really, really big impact on my life, for sure. So, hey, if you're around still, I love you. Thank you very much. You were a big help to me and my mom and my older brother, who basically occupied my father role and was very worried about me too.
I wonder if this conversation, I wonder if there will be any moms that will listen to this and be like, okay, I'm going to try that with my kid.
Yeah, I mean, try it. Because I was into martial arts. I was into Bruce Lee and all that. And I would do a bunch of karate, you know, on my own. So when she finally brought me and signed me up, I was like, I was over the moon. And I did not want to mess it up. So he's like, yes, sir, no, sir, we're not doing this with him. And it wasn't like, he wasn't coming across like a tough guy. He was just saying, yo, if you want to be here, then this is what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. All right, cool, whatever.
Well, it's interesting because whenever you see in the movies, it never sounds like they're like trying to control their students. It sounds like they're trying to raise the bar of honor for them.
It was really, really based on bowing and all that, and you know, I really, really at the end we'd all get in a group. Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and
oh my word! I wish I could see you doing that at that little age.
Oh yeah, my mom, she loved it. There's pictures of me getting my yellow belt and all that one time, but my mom had those pictures. I don't know where they are now, but yeah,
See, I think it would be fun watching Johan do something like that too, because he's so hard. We left to go get some dinner. We came back and we were sitting in the car, and he thought we were out of the car because I've told him a bunch of times you can't bring anything outside inside.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And so we see him, he's got something in his hand, he rolls up to the door, he's knocking on the door, the other kids are not letting him in. So we're just like waiting there, and I'm like, I think we guessed that it was a frog of some sort.
I said it was a frog, and you said he's probably going to put it on his bed.
I said he's bringing it inside and he's going to put it in his bed.
So we get out the car.
Because the kids didn't ever let him in, so he went back. You know they heard him knocking too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
and then you notice when we came in, one of them was like, "Yo, have you seen Johan?"
Yeah. Yeah, Dorian.
We should have pieced that together.
Yeah. and we're like,
So we asked him.
I said, "What'd you have?" He goes, "Ah, it's a frog."
Yeah, it was a toad.
And then I said, "Well, where were you planning on putting him?" And he goes, "Well, I don't know, probably my bed." Like, we had him nailed to the
Yes,
T.
we did. We knew what it was and where it was headed. We have this horrid smell in our house. We cannot figure out what it is. I'm like,
It's on the boys. You know, the living room. The boys sleep in the living room.
it's on the second floor, and it's
there.
so bad. Like, it hits you like a ton of bricks when you walk in. He's like,
disgusting.
something's dead in here.
I am certain that
It does smell like something died.
I'm certain they left the window open and some squirrel or cat or something expired, and he's probably under one of the kids. It smells like that. It's pretty gross.
It's disgusting. So,
Anyway,
as soon as
boys.
we finish this, we're gonna go get some incense and burn them in this room.
Yeah, we're just
Like,
burn down the whole place.
The next review is gonna be all smoke.
but we're still recording because we're committed to it.
Yes.
Yeah, but anyway, just being a boy with no direction is the point here, and
Yeah.
you know, I told my brother, because that's a conversation that we're never going to have face to face probably, but I told my older brother, I said, thank you. Because he really gave up his childhood to occupy the father role for us. He really did. There is that clip when
He doesn't complain about it either.
he never, not once, where Tyrion Lannister was talking to his brother, and he said, you know, you saved me. I wouldn't have been able to make it without you. So, I said that to my brother. You know, Game of Thrones
Yes.
or whatever. And
Yep.
And,
Yep, I know which part
he
you're
said, I
talking
wouldn't have been able to make it without you. Mm-hmm. And I sent that to my brother because I don't know how he's just a special dude, man.
Mm.
I don't know how he did it because he didn't have any guidance. He just, you know, but, you know, look what he's doing now. You know, he's 1%. He's a 1%er, that's for sure.
A lot of that going around.
So am I, but not in the way that he is. So, but,
Well, shout out to the big homie.
yeah, shout out to Big Homie. I love you, man. But yeah, this is a crazy, and it's crazy because it sounds very poppy, but they're saying like something. This song right now is more relevant now than when was it written? 1989. It's more relevant now than 1989. Easy, because the
Right.
fatherlessness and
Oh.
it's difficult to be a male in today's society.
I bet.
It really, really is. And I have a very nuanced, semi-complicated relationship to masculinity in the current milieu.
Yeah.
But, and I'm very hard on dudes.
Yes.
But I know that it's hard. It's harder to be a dude now than in 1989. It's harder to be an 18-year-old boy now than in 1989. So it's more pertinent now. This is a really, really good song. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That first line is crazy. Young boy had a heart of stone. 'Cause that's what you do. You harden your heart. You know, it's like when Tupac said, you know, when my dad died, I didn't cry because my anger wouldn't let me grieve for a stranger. So you harden your heart, you know. This is a 10 for me,
I
for
knew
sure.
you were going with a
This
10.
is an easy 10. Easy 10.
Yeah, I knew you were going with a 10.
There's a lot of lessons in this song.
Yeah.
If we would sit and listen to what they're saying. I mean, these guys, aesthetically, they look kind of like hair bandy. I don't know. They look kind of serious. But
It looks like hairband mixed with grungy.
yeah.
Grunge.
Yeah, they're not like they don't look like typical glam rocker.
No, but like these bangs and that.
There's a woman that wrote it, Rachel Boland.
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh?
Oh no, it doesn't look like a woman. That's not a woman.
Nah, that's I don't know who that is. They must have misnomered the person, but
Well, no, I mean sometimes parents give like I went to school with this kid. We called him one name that was masculine, but his real name was Martian Carroll, and his last name
Martian.
Martian.
His first name was Martian.
And I'll tell you what, the poor kid got made fun of so much at that private school. He got picked on. Oh man. And everybody was like, his mom wanted him to be a girl.
Okay, here's what it is. Rachel Boland, born James Richard Southworth, is a bass guitar player and main songwriter for the metal band Skid Row. His stage name, Rachel, is a hybrid of his brother's name, Richard, and his grandfather's name, Manuel. Okay. That makes sense. Well, there you go. All right, it's a 10 for me. What do you give the song?
It's probably Rachel then, right?
What do you give the song?
I'm gonna go with a 10.
Way too over on this. This
Yeah.
is so long. Sorry, guys.
And we were supposed to do a fireside. We gotta go.
That's out the window. That's not occurring anymore.
It's not?
No.
Really?
I want to spend time with you.
Aw.
What are you giving it?
I'm gonna go with a 10 as well.
10. Excellent. Who is this? The Extreme Underground? For the two of you who stay to the end of the video,
is it
the
Extreme?
magic number is 3,758.
The Epic Underground.
So on the next fireside, I'm going to ask for the magic number, and whoever gets the magic number right first is going to get a free Sori Secret shirt.
What was the number? 3,000 what?
3,578. Because that'll prove that they stayed all the way to the end of this wretched video.
Okay.
And then on the next fireside, you announce it, and then boom.
Okay.
Okay?
There you are.
There you are!
Hopefully we have your size. If not, we'll order you one.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Right.
Let's go, babe.
Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. Courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and doubtful spirit. Oh, also, Hana Dul Set Net Dasa Yasa Elkup Yudum Ayap Yul.
I guess he counted to 10? In what?
I counted to 10 in Korean. Ang Chan Ho.
Very good.
I still remember the lessons. Then out.
Sorry out.
Gone.